Well, you're lucky. This is the night that the lights are on in Stratford. Unlike the night that the lights went out in Georgia, we're turning the motherfucking lights on throughout Kewaskum County and all over New Hampshire. Latest up to date is 2 nights ago my daughter went missing. She was drugged and trafficked and has been throughout Northeast Kingdom, and this all takes place because of Jeffrey Noyes and his underage pedophiliac bullshit. He's been arrested and charged with sexual assault, a felon charge, but he's still New Hampshire State Police and bail and bondsman. He was fired from Vermont, being chief of police of Island Pond, as well as in Canaan, Vermont. But he is still employed by the government. His daughter is a fucking Vermont state trooper. God only knows how many others in his family. Best friends, he boasts about being best friends with Bernie Sanders. And who is that other fucking yank from here? That old fucking guy, old as dirt, no longer in office, but he's a congressman too. Yeah, I'll think of it. But by the way, his daughter's the one that invented the bulletproof vest for animals, okay? Big fucking deal. She's just as corrupt because she knew her father was having sex with her friends when they were in school. And that was told to me by a Bethlehem cop. Miss Rudman told me that on September 14th of 2025, when we were at Gale River at the White Mountain National Forest in Bethlehem, New Hampshire. She approached me, and it's on her body cam and everything. And I still have the emails that I sent to the town of Bethlehem to Mary, Scary Mary, and requested 91A plus body cam and all cam, recording and surveillance to provide proof that everybody knew about the conversation and that it was recorded. But you know what? She never answered to it. She hasn't answered to anything for the past 30 fucking years. So with that being said, you already know that I filed lawsuits against Bethlehem, Carol, and all of them. Now, you also know that I filed a stalking order because I told you I was going to, and I did. I filed for a stalking order, high-risk protection order against Corey Lord, all the police, state police, Troop F, and their friends, including Corey Lord's wife, Teresa, who works at a school, so she grooms and lures kids so that her husband can call and get them taken, right? Because that's all part of trafficking. Why else would you be following me? I told you several times, do not get on my page after I saw you on there. I told you to get the fuck off there, didn't I, Teresa? And you didn't listen. I also warned you I'd file a lawsuit against your ass in the stalking order. You didn't fucking listen. You kept on following. That means that's harassment on top of stalking because I told you. So that's repetitive. With that being said, everything that you're doing, everything that you've done, all of your family history is being checked into, every fucking one of you. Jeff Noyes pulled a gun on me in 2021. Okay, I told you about that. February 27th of 2021 told me I better watch what I say in his town. That's because back in 2006, I reported him sexually assaulting girls. In 2009, I demanded the computer and information transparency issues came about. And the computer laptop came up missing from the police department, Island Pond, Vermont. Jeff was under investigation for that. What happened? Oh, slipped right off the fucking radar. His brother admitted to killing an 11-year-old right up there in Stewartstown, the town away from Colebrook on the Vermont border. Guess who was the captain of the police department of the New Hampshire State Police when that happened? Good old Jeffrey Noyes, his own fucking brother. So with that being said, y'all need to know that these motherfuckers are nothing but criminals. Their wives back them. So when something happens to their children, laugh your fucking ass off. If their kids get into an accident, if their kids get beat up, if their kids get raped, if those kids get drugged, if it happens to their wives, fucking laugh. But I'm going to tell you right now that you all ought to take out insurance policies against the towns, the county, and the state of New Hampshire. Because all of the punitive damage and stress that they're causing us, you can sue them for it. Go after their insurance companies, every town, county, and state of New Hampshire, okay, where you live. Make sure they have insurance and file against them, U.S. federal court. You can't file a state lawsuit against the state in a state level court. You have to take it to a non-biased court. But they're all biased here, by the way, because all the judges are involved in trafficking too. That's why these cases go unsolved. Remember back in the day, we used to have detectives on each police force? What happened to that? Now all they do is they hear something from their friends or they make up something in their fucking delusional mind and they go out and they arrest you without even questioning or anything. They go out and arrest, and it's because they want to suppress the information and evidence that we carry. Isn't that right, Corey Lord? Isn't that why my phone accounts got deleted? I have told other officers about that, including somebody that knows you quite well, Lieutenant Kim, down in Holdness. She seemingly thinks it's quite strange and is curious as to why did my account get canceled, deleted, after you ordered a warrant for my cell phone. And why is it that she's willing to give me all the information about the false arrest and the warrant for my phone, but you people don't want to give anything? That's transparency issues, people. And transparency issues is only because they have something to hide. And what are they hiding? They're hiding the fact that they've been reported to Internal Affairs. They've been involved in, and they are involved with, the drugs going from town to town. They know who's doing the drugs. They know who's carrying the drugs. They know who's getting drugged. And the fucking cops in New Hampshire State Police Troop F, as well as Lancaster PD, Colbert PD, Carroll PD, Bethlehem PD. You see, when they all get recognized for their wrongdoings, they just transfer from one end of the state to the other. They bounce around like fucking Tigger. But you're gonna get caught up. Just like Mr. fucking Barrington, officer from Barrington, New Hampshire, that arrested me and the charges got dropped. He bounced down to fucking Seabrook. Well, lo and behold, he went right into the goddamn fire because I got a lawsuit on him, and I already had one and have one against Seabrook and the police department there. So do you see? They all tie in together because they're all hiding the criminal activity. Wendell Noyes vandalized my Nissan Xterra that was still sitting at Littleton Chevrolet last I knew, and they didn't want to work on it. They told me that they knew that it needed a ignition switch. How do you know that if you haven't properly diagnosed it? Why do you want me to pay over $400 and my vehicle's not running and it's not been completely diagnosed? So therefore, if you know it needs an ignition switch, you can bypass that to re-diagnose the whole fucking situation. But because you know that Wendell Noyes' hand and fingerprints are still on my vehicle, he was seen, and I've got pictures as well as reports to Walker at the Seabrook Police Department, and he never investigated because he used to work for Stratford, Rochester, New Hampshire. And he knows my husband, William Eugene Asher. So with that being said, knowing that William Eugene Asher is friends with Jeff Noyes, Wendell Noyes, and had been married to the ex-chief of police as well as the former Kewaskum County Sheriff, Lee Rice's wife, okay? You all know what fucking time it is. It's all a conspired, organized crime set up, and they're scheming and scamming, not only drugging, raping, and disappearances, but deed fraud. They're trying to steal people's property, and that's why they don't want me where I was residing. And I've got paperwork from U.S. Postal Service that provides proof, fact, and evidence that I reside on that fucking property that was burned out. Then I had to move into the home, and then I was illegally removed from the home because the police brought back the two assailants and dropped them off December 15th, the ones that have no contact with me, and then I'm ordered no contact with them and arrested. Are you fucking kidding me, Corey Lord? I'm telling you right now, it's the 28th of January, and this bitch, I will be up all day, all night, every day, every fucking night until somebody brings you to fucking justice, boy.